Check out the video description for details. It's Monday, July 31st. We got a great show for you today. We're talking about Snapchat is in the news. We've got some earnings season coming up with Apple and Activision. We have some info on Game of Thrones. Microsoft is making some headlines and a little bit of WWE news. So let's go ahead and jump right in today with some Snapchat info. Buy when you buy in on an IPO, they screen you, and one of the things they ask is how long you're going to hold on to the stock for. As there's a lockup period for when you buy in on those initial public offerings, and you're supposed to hold it. And if you don't hold it, you are kind of blackballed from investing in IPOs in the future. So a lot of people thought, including myself, that today would be a day that it would crash again as all these shares open up and people start bailing on them. So they're down a little bit, not as much as I thought they would be down 2.5, almost 3%. So it's certainly not good news, but I thought it may be a bloodbath with Snapchat, but not so much today. 3% still nothing to sneeze at. The stock hasn't performed very well. We don't like it. We stay away from it. You'd be much better off going with like a Facebook or heck, even a Twitter of all stocks. So let me know what you think about Snapchat in the comments. This week we're going to be focusing on earnings of stocks that we own because it's earnings season, and Apple is on tap tomorrow. They'll be announcing their earnings after the bell, so we will be covering that. And what do I expect from Apple's earnings? Not a whole lot. They are probably going to not sell many iPhones. People are obviously waiting for the next cycle of iPhones when they come out. So the stock's doing nothing today. Hopefully tomorrow there's a bigger pause in the iPhone buying than they thought, and maybe they slip a little bit on their earnings and the stock pulls back quite a bit. That would show that there's going to be much more demand for the new iPhone cycle as it comes out, in my opinion. So stock will bounce right back up. It's the value of the stock is ridiculously cheap. It pays a pretty good dividend. They keep hiking the dividend up. Very inexpensive stock as far as price to earnings goes. And anytime there's a pullback, we think it's a great time to buy Apple. So hoping for an earnings miss of some sort for another opportunity to buy into to Apple stock. We'll see. I don't expect much excitement overall. There's always little nuggets to get out of that, so we'll be covering that when it comes up. Activision is going to be announcing their earnings a little bit later this week after the bell. I believe it's Thursday. So we'll be watching that one. That one, we always dive into their earnings calls. Lots of good information. Then the Q&A after that. Activision's one of our favorite stocks to own, and we think that the earnings should be pretty good. I don't know what's going to slow the stock down and get a big pullback at this point. We can hope, but we think buying into them's a pretty good idea as they launch their esports Overwatch League. And speaking of that, there's an article over at the Motley Fool, and any article that I bring up, I'm going to put a link in the description so you can check it out there. But Amazon is who owns Twitch, and they're partnering up with Activision. They have basically Twitch was started from StarCraft streaming that, so they've always had a partnership. But you're going to see companies as they get into esports sign these exclusive deals, whether it's with Facebook or Alphabet, which is YouTube, or Twitch. And it'll be interesting to see where people go. I think Twitch is the best way to go, and Activision is one of the best stocks to own. So I think they're doing well going with Twitch on that. YouTube's fantastic for many things, but as far as streaming games and stuff, Twitch is the way to go. So Looking for their earnings seasons or for their earnings report this quarter coming up this week, and hopefully we get a pullback so we can buy some more Activision. Game of Thrones season is in full swing, and we're enjoying it. It's moving along a little bit too quickly for our likings, but I digress. Good season. They were hacked, much like Sony was a while back, and now they got scripts from Game of Thrones is being released. So I'm going to try and avoid spoilers as I read through some of the potential leaks as the stories come out on that. But apparently, Ballers and a couple of their other shows are already getting episodes leaked out there, and I'm sure you'll start seeing possibly Game of Thrones episodes leaked out there. What I would be interested in is some of the emails that may get leaked, like Sony did. That could lead to some conflicts or show you what's in development there with HBO, or even potentially if there's info on the merger with AT&T, be curious on that. So not a good thing. Game of Thrones or HBO is hacked. Things like Game of Thrones are being leaked out there, so watch out for those. I'm sure we're going to have some interesting headlines coming up with that info being disseminated out there. Microsoft is in the news again. This is a stock that we've missed out on. We talk about it a lot. Whenever they always do something to turn me off right about when it's time to buy stock, and I have missed out on them. As you can see in the last 5 years, they are, any time would have been good to buy them up. They've been marching upwards from about $30 to $70, so not too shabby. Their CEO is saying there's a 15% bump coming. Profitability worries are overblown. 15% rally he's talking about over at CNBC, and very rare for CEO to make that kind of prediction. So Microsoft is telling you we're going up 15%. Maybe a good time to buy them up. A lot of things to like about Microsoft, certainly. Not so much their consoles right now. I think PlayStation and Sony has the edge, and I think Nintendo has their own niche. I am interested in their 4K machine, the Xbox One X. We'll see. Microsoft, probably more misses on my part. I hope people are investing in it and making some money, though. Like to hear about that. So go ahead and post that in the comments. Final thing I want to discuss today is WWE is in the news for a couple of things. They just had UFC just had a pay-per-view this past weekend. It was a pretty good pay-per-view. Let me pull up the article here. You are getting call-outs. WWE guys are getting called out by UFC fighters.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is in full swing. Get 0% for 72 months.
We don't want to listen to that ad. So John Jones called out Brock Lesnar, which would obviously be a super fight, but I mean, Brock Lesnar, it would be one thing if it was Brock Lesnar who trained on MMA for years and he was at his peak. I mean, he's had multiple health issues, and certainly his speed and stuff is not there. You can tell a big difference from his first fight in the UFCs versus his later ones after the diverticulitis. I think I said that right. That he had. So you've got that, and you've got Chris Cyborg is calling out Becky Lynch for a match at SummerSlam. So you got these UFC people calling out, trying to get a rub with some WWE fans and build off of that. So that's good news to me, as you've got UFC is going to be in the headlines for a while with the Mayweather-McGregor fight. Lots of money to be had off of them. So any publicity or any tie-ins that WWE can get, whether it's Ronda Rousey working with them or some of the other people, is certainly going to be good news for the company, and I think build viewers, build some interest in the network and stuff. But stock is down today, and I've talked about there's always chances WWE, they have these little pullbacks to buy into them, but Looks like they are getting sold off because Morgan Stanley is who's pricing a large share, 3.5 million shares at $21 a share, so that they can dump it out there. Had a good earnings report and pay a good dividend, so buy them on the dip. Here's another opportunity, down almost 2% today. That's it for today's show. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. To recap, Snapchat, stay away from them. A lot better stocks out there. Facebook, and I'd pick Twitter over them, to be honest with you, even though Twitter's not exactly a terrific stock. That's certainly a long shot. If you want to play with long shots, Twitter over Snapchat. Good, solid company. Facebook is better than them. Apple earnings this week. Hopefully it pulls back. Activision earning this week. We want another pullback. Two of our favorite stocks, honestly, out there. Going to be looking for some news out of the hacked HBO and avoiding the Game of Thrones spoilers. Microsoft could be an opportunity to buy, and WWE on the dip. Go ahead and buy some of those. So give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the show. We appreciate your feedback. Leave some comments. If you have stock picks, tips, tricks, anything, put them in the comments. We want to build a community of people who normally wouldn't invest in stocks, such as gamers, YouTubers, those type of people. Let's get them involved in investing so that they can make themselves some money. Subscribe if you haven't already so you get the latest investing news for gamers. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.